Okay. In the next few minutes, I would like to show you a little bit about the things which became important for me. We've noticed that several people we investigated in Germany are not religious anymore. So what are they talking about when they say, what is sacred for me? It was fine to see that several said, but in nature, there's something I experience, but I don't know what it is, but at least it touches me. So it means one standing and stopping and wandering awe could be an indicator that beauty and silence in nature is more than just the absence of whatever. Okay, it was too fast. I've shown this slide yesterday, so it's okay. It means you stand in different situations and you behave differently. For example, a breathtaking landscape and so on, your pause, something touches you, and you have some thoughts. Either it's wow, or either it's, oh, I'm so grateful that I can stand here, and so on. And we investigated it with a small scale of some items. It's this on gratitude scale with 7 items. It was validated first in 2018 at a good internal constants. Later on, we revalidated in a larger sample with 15,000. It's the same. As you can see here, no, it's not a pointer. Anyway, as you can see here, there is a large variance. Um, it means some people might be heroes of experience of awe, and others are poor in these things. We've seen that older people have higher scores than younger people. This is interesting. Women have slightly higher scores than men, and people without a religious association are not worse than with a religious association. It means further, we've heard awe is a matter of religious indication or perception. It's not true anymore. Even non-religious people experience it. So I think this is very important to underline. It might be that people with specific lifestyles are more sensitive to these things because they are trained to perceive things. For example, religious brothers and sisters and yoga practitioners, they have nothing in common, but nevertheless, they have a specific lifestyle and they have a spiritual practices. And this may sensitize them to perceive things differently in the world. So when spirituality is primarily a matter of being connected with the sacred in life, we can argue that stopping and wandering can be understood as a capacity to resonate with one's surrounding and respond to it, either in openness or appreciation. Or can thus be an indicator of spirituality that is also experienced by non-religious people, and yes, also by religious or spiritual people. It is associated with the perception of the sacred, mystical experience, and spiritual well-being, and also associated with the more psychological side, mindfulness and psychological well-being and satisfaction in life. So during the pandemic, we've seen that people experience changes very differently. They made experience that spending time together in nature increased because they had the time during the lockdowns, that they observed the development of nature, they appreciated their own relationship. For example, oh, I have a partner, I've never noticed it in this way, and reflecting on what's important in their life. And these changes were associated with pausing and wandering awe. It means this ability was the best predictor for all these positive changes. Nature and silence was a significant mediator also of the link between awe and gratitude and psychological well-being. I think it's important to underline it. This ability seems to indicate something more. And now we've run 2 studies. Because these experiences are not only perceived with encounters with specific people, but mostly and easiest in green and blue nature. The question was, what is the impact of actual experience of nature on psychological well-being beyond merely feeling cognitively connected to nature? So the methods with some quite large samples. The second sample is rather slow. I'll tell you later on what's the difference. The first investigated non-interventional everyday experience of nature and awe. And the second study means we had guided visits to nature. It's some kind of intervention. We have some instruments, we measured it and so on. Here are the first findings, just a minute. Yes, as you can see here, nature relatedness and experience of nature were strongly associated with awe and gratitude. It's indicated with these orange bars. It means being related to nature is more a cognitive concept. I can understand that I'm related, but there's difference between I experience deeply in my heart or wherever that I'm in nature and it touches me. Both are connected, means connection of brain and head and heart as we've heard it. And only awe and gratitude is associated with well-being. Surprisingly, not relevantly, nature-relatedness and experience of nature is marginal association. So next, slowly walking outside is associated with nature, relatedness, but not fast cycling outside. So just being present in nature means it's not enough. It means how you perceive nature and how you're in nature. The moderator analysis provided next insights that well-being is directly predicted by awe and gratitude, while the experience of nature alone had a negative effect on well-being. Please don't ask me now. Later on the floor, we can discuss it. I think it's quite complicated. This relationship was moderated by awe and gratitude and turning this negative effect now into a positive effect. So it means it's required that my heart is in this nature experiences. In other words, nature experience appeared beneficial only when individuals experienced nature with openness, wonder, and gratitude. So conclusion of the first study, merely being in nature appears insufficient to improve well-being. What seems matter is a mindful and emotional resonant encounter with nature. Such encounters may trigger feelings of awe and gratitude, which in turn contribute to spiritual well-being and psychological well-being too, So individuals with a contemplative lifestyle, as I told you, the religious brothers and sisters and yoga practitioners and spiritual practices showed higher scores. This would indicate that the capacity for awe is not simply a personal trait, but could be also cultivated and trained. This was the reason why we next said, okay, let's take visitors to specific places in the Sauerland area. They call it soul places or Seelenorte. It means they are walking half an hour to 1 hour to this unique place like a pilgrimage. They were explained what is the uniqueness of this place. So there is a, let's say, an association with the heart. So we assume that this would facilitate a deeper emotional engagement with these places. In fact, 20 minutes were kept in silence at these places. And now what's going on? In contrast to the first study, now experience of nature was moderately associated with psychological well-being. Please remember, first it was only marginally associated, now it's moderately associated. So this slowly encounter and approaching to this place changed something in the mindset. Now they feel well with it. Awe and gratitude showed a strong association with both nature experience as expected, and it was not the total time spent at the place that mattered, rather the amount of time spent in silence was positively associated. This suggests that moments of quiet presence, simply being receptive and attentive, may facilitate these experiences. Again, meditation is associated with the experience of nature. It means it could be triggered, but simply praying is not enough. So, for example, just adding some words, it's not enough. The mediation model. So the results show that there is no direct effect of awe and gratitude on well-being. Instead, the effect was indirect and mediated through experience of nature. Also, we performed a structural equitation model, confirmed a strong relationship between awe and gratitude and the experience of nature, and a significant but weaker relationship between experience of nature and well-being. One possible explanation could be that participant has already been sensitized by the guides while walking, like a pilgrimage. So, in other words, awe did not directly increase well-being. It changed the way people experienced nature. And this enhanced experience contributed to well-being. So, let me briefly sum up. Although the statistical models already differed between the two studies, the overall message was clearly constant. Awe and gratitude played a central role in linking the experience of nature with psychological well-being. In the first study, awe and gratitude moderated the relationship. In the second study, they contributed indirectly by enhancing experience of nature itself. So this would suggest that nature is not simply a setting. What seems to matter is how one encountered nature. Our findings thus would suggest that awareness of nature might be cultivatable. This process may involve 3 steps. Preparation, for example, approaching a place intentionally, openness, being fully present while at the place, which is attractive in most cases, and then reflection means later on integrate these experiences in your daily life when you're back home the next week and so on. So it's also a process of remembering and said, it was so beautiful and it touched me. And then I'm quite sure that you intend to walk again in nature to experience similar things. So nature becomes a source of well-being, not simply because we are there, but because we learn to perceive it differently. So this was the key message of my talk.